Hey guys! Hey Marie, Nancy, Katie, Debbie, Hippie Chick, Penny, Tuttle. Hi! Hi everybody! Thank you for coming. Hello. Hi Bernice. Hey everybody. Hey Nika. Thanks for the hearts. It's so hard to read your names. They really got to update this to where your names is just as dark, because then I can see without going like this. But hi Lise. Hi Bernice. Hi. Good to see you guys. Sorry for the short notice. I just thought, there's so many questions about the essential oil safety book. I just thought that I would just sort of address it again. I'm thinking of making this a semi-regular thing on Fridays, where I just kind of hop on and talk a little bit about either what happened last week. I am in the process of writing a book. I got a little sidetracked with something that I was working on over the last couple months, and I'm no longer consumed with that anymore, so I do have some free time, and I would love to get working on that book finally. So yeah. You guys will love it. You guys will love it. So I'm really excited about it, so I'm going to get to work back on that book. Yay! Among other things, actually. But hello. Hello, Charlotte. Hey guys. So I'm Leah Harris from Using Essential Oil Safely, the Facebook group, and usingeosafely.com. And thank you. And this Periscope is just to discuss essential oil safety a little bit. Thanks for all the hearts. So this is the book that I'm talking about, Essential Oil Safety by Robert Tisserand. And I have on my website, thank you, hi from Maryland. I have on my website, if you go to usingeosafely.com, I have a giveaway going on. So if you go there and you look on the sidebar and you look for Robert's book, Essential Oil Safety, and it says 2 winners, you can click right on that and it will bring you right to the giveaway. Or you can type in usingeosafely.com/win-EOS. So that's really exciting. So there were some pictures. There were some posts in the group earlier. Thank you for the hearts. Asking questions about essential oil safety, and we sort of went over this a little bit on the Blab on Sunday, but we were having a little bit of difficulty and I didn't end up recording it, but we ended up discussing a lot of great things about this book. So I'd like to just sort of go over that again. And so if you guys have any questions, please feel free to post them and I will interrupt myself and go ahead and answer those. There's a few things that I know that I do want to cover, but if you have specific questions, that would be awesome, and I would love to answer those for you. So basically speaking, this weighs over 6 pounds, okay? It's huge, so exercise your brain, exercise your arms, so it's really, really good. This has everything to do with essential oil safety, hence the title. There's an entire section. First of all, let me show you the tabs. So I have the constituents back here, alphabetized with these little stickers, and I have the essential oils themselves, profiles, and I have little stickies on here, and they're alphabetical, so I can jump right to whatever essential oil that I'm looking for, or at least the section that it's in, so I can more quickly find it. And what you can find, let me go ahead, I know we discussed clove last week. When diffusing at night, how many drops on average should you use? I generally like to add 5 to 10 drops to my diffuser, but it really depends. If your diffuser, hang on, ask me again in a second. If your diffuser, you're running all night long, I know generally we recommend to diffuse between 30 and 60 minutes on, and then have it shut off for another 30 to 60, and there's yet to be a diffuser invented that does that exact thing, so hopefully somebody's listening and will make that. That would be really awesome. But if you are running your diffuser the entire night, if you don't have one that even has a 1 or 2 hour timer, then you can add, say, 1 or 2 drops. Yes, yours definitely, yours calls for 3 to 5 drops per 100 milliliters of water. Yes, that's fine. I sometimes like to go a little bit more than that. You can definitely go less. I would say 5 just for the average, and up to 10. It also depends on which one you're adding. Some of them have more strength than others as far as the aroma goes. For sleep, you probably want to go under 5. It also depends where in the room it is, if it's really close to you or a bit farther away. What else was, okay, so yeah, so you can maybe add 1 or 2 drops if it's going to run the entire night. That way you're only having a couple of drops total in your whole room. You might be able to use a wall timer to set it. Yes, you might be able to use a wall timer to set it to go on and off throughout the night. Right, you can buy a separate wall timer. That's a great idea. Great idea. And then you can set it to go however long that you want to. So that's it for the, I hope I was clear on that question. I know it's hard to say exactly how many drops and how long and whatever, because it does depend on where in the room it is, how much is it really outputting. Do all diffusers leave an oily residue? An oily residue in the diffuser or outside of the diffuser? If you mean on the inside, yes, they can. Yes. And in theory, they shouldn't, because oil floats on top of the water, and that should be going out into the room. But I do find that, yes, there is residue inside sometimes on the surface where it is. You mean, like if you put it on a table, then no, it really shouldn't. If you have a nebulizer, which just uses straight essential oil, and you're diffusing it, possibly. I personally haven't run mine that long to figure that out, but it generally, I've never come across an oily residue except for inside the actual unit. That can happen sometimes. Thank you for the hearts. Amazing. So I just wanted to pop over to Clove really quickly. Hi from Oklahoma. I know we discussed this on Sunday on our Sunday blab, and if you missed it, okay, so yours does leave some residue. Is it in, well, I mean, it's possible, I suppose, depending on how it pushes it out into the air, if it kind of falls back down onto your table. I mean, it's possible. I've never had that issue before, but in theory, absolutely, it's possible. If you guys missed our Clove Essential Oil Safely Free mini course last week, sits on a mirror, okay. Well, I mean, if it does, it does. And I guess I would suggest, you know, putting it on a towel or something, or just wiping it up. It shouldn't do any damage to the mirror. You can go to usingeosafely.com/cloveeo, and that will bring you to a page that discusses the benefits and therapeutic properties. And I'm actually working on ways to use. I'm so behind on that. I got a little sidetracked this week, but I will be adding recipes to that as well. But there's a whole bunch of information in there, including a recording of the blab we did on Sunday and the Periscope I did the following Monday about Clove. So I'm just going to look up Clove really quickly in here, just to kind of show you what this book has on Clove and give you an example of what you can find in the profiles for different essential oils. So there's Clove Bud here. So you can see that, Clove Bud. And this book also has leaf and stem. And although the constituents are slightly different, the safety information is the same. So you will find the name of the essential oil, and there's 400 different essential oils discussed in this book, and over 200 constituents of the essential oils also discussed in this book. So you will find the name of the oil, such as Clove Bud. You will find, hello, you will find the botanical name and any synonyms. And just to make it confusing for us, sometimes the botanical name, there's more than one for the essential oil. Like Clove Bud, and I'm going to butcher this, so just be prepared. Syzygium aromaticum, and also acceptable, and this is not a different plant, this is the same one that has a different name, is Eugenia carophyllata, and I'm probably butchering that. How often is this book updated? This was put out in 2013, and it took 12 years to write, and I have no idea if Robert plans on putting out another book. I heard he was not, but that was shortly after he finished it. He may be working on one. It would be a good question to ask him. And I'm sorry I missed the second part of your question. If you could post that again for me. It also gives you the plant family that essential oil is found in. It lists the source. Hello from New Mexico. It lists the source of the plant as well, such as dried flower buds. That would be from clove. And for the leaf, it would be leaves, and for the stem, it would be the stems of the clove plant. Then it lists the key constituents. Texas, hello from Texas. Then it lists the constituents, and it gives you ranges. Sometimes he just gives kind of one number. That's sort of what you want to go by. And then there's also ranges. Just any safety updates or new essential oils that may be new. Yes, there are a couple of essential oils that are not in here. He referenced coffee essential oil as one of them that's not in here because he could not find very much information on that at the time that he wrote this. My hair looks like it's sticking up. Sorry about that. There's also, I don't think, there's a couple that may not be in here. Okay, options if you do not win and can't afford to buy. Save your pennies. You can rent it, but it's like $25 or $30, I think, to rent it. And there's so much that you're really not going to be able to rent it and get everything you want out of it. Your library may have it, actually. That would be an option for you, possibly. Otherwise, just save your pennies. You know, maybe I'll do another giveaway. Who knows? Right now, there's potentially 2 winners, so hopefully you can win. So there are ranges for the key constituents, and these are guidelines to go by. I am noticing a lot of the references are dated from 1993 or 1995. And he does list his sources here, and these are, yeah, library loan program, yes, so you can borrow it and check it out. There's also comments on safety. There's applicable hazards, such as for clove, there's a potential drug interaction. It may contain methyl-eugenol, it may inhibit blood clotting, it has, there's embryotoxicity involved, skin sensitization, moderate risk, and mucous membrane irritation, moderate risk. And that's the hazards. Now, if you use clove bud orally, that means if you ingest it somehow, whether it's in your water or in something you're eating, it may interact with certain drugs that are listed here, as well as if you're on anticoagulant medications, aspirin. There's a warning if you have peptic ulcer or other bleeding disorders. If you're about to have surgery or just did have surgery, then it's not recommended that you ingest. The cautions for using topically on your skin are to avoid for children under 2, if you have hypersensitive skin or diseased or damaged skin. There's just a little bit of caution involved there. Clove essential oil can be very useful for athlete's foot, which sort of is damaged skin, but if you keep to the low dilution that is recommended, which is also here, it's 0.5%, then it can be used. So it's just a caution. It's not saying never use it ever, just really make sure you really want to use this particular one. I personally try to use other ones that don't have as much caution just to be safe, but I mean, that is something that you can decide for yourself. So there's a safety summary, there's safety advice, there's, for a lot of them, there's more information such as the regulatory guidelines. He goes into organ-specific effects of clove as well as systemic effects of clove, and then a little bit of comments. And his comment for this is, in spite of the chemical similarity between the 3 types of clove oil, the odor of each is different. And that is common for essential oils when you steam, distill, or extract from different plants. From different parts of the plant, you will get a different odor, and often you also get different therapeutic properties, but not so for clove. So that is for clove. I mean, that is one section in this entire huge book with about 700 pages, but that is sort of an outline of what you can expect for all of the essential oils described in here. Now, a lot of people can buy this book and just look up the essential oils that you do have and see if there's any cautions involved in using them. And that is a great place to start using this book. That is a great thing that I recommend for beginners to do, because this book is huge and it can be very overwhelming, and it's probably not something that you want to start from the beginning and just read all the way through. You can, and the beginning is actually amazing. He discusses different topics and also goes into different body systems as well, as far as how essential oils affect those. And I'm just going to read a little bit. So there's a section on composition, toxicity, kinetics, and dosing, the skin, which is fascinating, absolutely fascinating, the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, urinary system, digestive system, nervous system, reproductive system, cancer and the immune system, And then you have the whole section on profiles and then an entire section on constituents. Then you have a small section in the back on general safety guidelines, such as if you're on chemotherapy, you may not want to use essential oils at the time because there's not a lot of knowledge on how it interacts with chemotherapy. There's also appendixes. If you are on drugs or using medication, you can check out that section just to make sure that there's no interaction. Thanks for the hearts. So I mean, there's a lot here. There really, really is. And you know, this is useful for anybody who has essential oils. You can use this book. You really can. It is available on Amazon. You can get it at usingeosafely.com/eosafety, and that brings you right to Amazon. Right now, I think it's around $95 for the book. I've seen it go as low as about $72. There is a Kindle version as well. That when I purchased my Kindle version, yes, I have both versions, it was around $54, but I'm seeing that it's closer to $70 or $80 right now. I do have both, and the reason I have both is because sometimes I want to search for a keyword, and although there's an index and everything, I just find that it's quicker sometimes if I can just type it in and bring it up. So I did buy the Kindle version. I have Kindle for PC on my laptop, and then I access it that way. So I use both often. So do you guys have any questions on the book Essential Oil Safety? Or anything about entering to win? I do have that link, and I can post it. When I post the Periscope, I will post a link to that as well. But Kindle's $85 now. Yeah, it's really, really close now. The price is a little bit elevated, so I guess I picked a really bad time to do a giveaway for 2 copies. But hey. Oh well, you know, that's the way it is. So hopefully you guys can watch the price a little bit, and otherwise, I mean, it is worth it, and that's another thing I want to say. It's probably, excuse me, probably the most expensive book you will ever purchase, but it is essential. It really, really is. Pun intended, it is essential. The link online is usingeosafely.com/wineos, that's for the giveaway, or /eosafety. Yes, there are, sorry, you're fading quickly. I was trying to be fast on that. Interactions, yes, there's a list in the back. There is an appendix, and it does, let me flip to that page so I can show you a little bit about what it looks like. There's a section in the back here. Please post again. I'm very sorry about that. A few of you posted at once, and I was trying to be really quick about it, but I missed what some of you guys asked for questions. I'm sorry to have you type all over again. So this is the section that begins. This is the page that begins, and it's examples of drug substrates for CYP enzymes, and then there's other ones as well. And it has the drug class, the generic name, and then it has the CYP 1A2, 1B1, etc., etc., and then there's little check marks. So if you can find the prescription that you are on, what book might you suggest in place of it because of cost? I'm sorry, there's nothing that will replace this book. There just simply is no other source that will replace this book. Robert and Rodney Young, they both spent 12 years compiling research. There's over 4,000 citations. You know, they've done all the work for us. They've gone on PubMed and purchased journals and reports, and they've done all of that for us, so it's in one spot. And it's not cheap to purchase reports. Some of them cost almost up to $100. Some of them cost $200 or more. So Robert's invested, you know, money in purchasing those reports and gathering those and dissecting those and getting that information for us and compiling it all in one spot for us. So if somebody wants to go and on their own do all that work, it's going to cost you a lot more. Anything on ingesting oils? Yes, there is not an entire chapter on it, but it is discussed throughout, and there's actually cautions on the essential oil profile pages about ingesting and what, like such as geranium, do not use orally if you're on diabetes medication, etc. There is discussion on the sort of damage and stuff that it can do to you if you do ingest. So yes, there is information on there. There is, yeah, maximum dermal levels for essential oils as well. So there is a list of yes, there is. How many are listed? Dozens are listed, and I cannot guarantee if yours might be in here. I don't believe it to be a fully exhaustive list, but it is pretty good. You're welcome. It is pretty decent. Let me find that page again. So there's this page, and then there's, oops, yeah, nice. Then there's these 2 pages, and then there's the back of this a little bit. So, such as, let's see, adrenaline type analgesics, you're welcome. Anesthetics, so antidepressants, hypnotic drugs, different things like that. So that's pretty informative. I did want to go back to the cost. Please ask your questions. Please ask your questions. Thank you for the hearts. I did want to go back to the price of the book. Now, you can take courses that cost hundreds of dollars, and you can learn a lot, and that's great. I personally recommend you take whatever you can for courses. But there's so much information in here, especially, well, everything, but I mean particularly in the beginning where he's breaking it down by body system. He is so thorough going through all of the different body systems and exactly how essential oils interact and affect those body systems. I mean, if you just took one body system and had a course on that, I mean, it would be worth a couple $100 alone just for the one body system. And he has all of them in here. He has an entire section on cancer and the immune system. I mean, there's really, really great stuff in here, guys. Really, really great stuff. So it is an investment. It is well worth it. You will not be disappointed. There's a lot in here. You will not probably be able to read this entire thing in one setting. I'm just guessing. But it's something that you're going to be referencing often. And you will find your answers. You know, there's so much information in here. So the giveaway again is using eossafely.com/wineos. And the book on Amazon, if you want to check that out, is using eossafely.com/eosafety. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. So does anybody have any questions for me about the book? We'll go a few more minutes, and then I will upload this to YouTube for those who missed it. Thank you for the hearts. So pretty. Thank you. So any questions at all? There are over 4,700 entries into the giveaway, but you have 24 ways to enter this giveaway. You can have 24 enters, and there's only two of them that count. So if you only enter once, that is okay. You can still win. So do not be discouraged. There's a lot of entries. There's only 11 hours left. I actually might have to change that because I wanted this to run until Sunday. So I'm actually going to change that. This is going to run until Sunday. I'm not sure how that happened, but I'm not happy with that. I wanted it to run a week. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. What do I feel is best to diffuse for congested children at night? For congested children at night, I have a recipe on learningaboutEOS.com/anti-germ recipe, which also includes a recipe for congestion. And basically, to answer your question simply, fir, pine, spruce, cypress, cedarwood, sandalwood. Do all essential oils blend well together, or is there a formula for that? You can honestly blend whatever you want to. Of course, it's a great idea to blend therapeutically, which means you're going to look for the essential oils that have the therapeutic purposes and values and properties that you are looking for and that you want and that work well together so that you can create a synergy. Yes, cedarwood is great for nighttime. What book will help me learn how to read and understand GCMS reports? This one, Christina. This is the only one that will help you, because there are, I mean, this will not help you necessarily understand the report itself. Some of them are quite confusing. However, there are constituent ranges in essential oil safety to give you guidelines, and it's okay to be a couple of points off, but when you're dramatically off, such as, 20, 30, 40, 50 points, then it's probably not a genuine oil. So you do not necessarily have to be a chemist to find this out. You can look at this book, as I recently did and discovered for myself, and you can get a really good idea if it's what they claim to be. It does show appropriate ranges then. Yes, absolutely it does. And again, these are ranges. They don't have to be exact. If they're a couple points off on a couple things, it's probably not the end of the world, and it probably does not mean it's not a good oil. So, you know, chemists are great to help us even better figure this out, but it will give you a great idea. I was recently looking at some GCMS reports, and I was able to, I'm assuming, because I'm not a chemist, it appeared to me as if the lavender was not lavender, that it was lavandin. No, there is no other place that tells you. Actually, that's not quite true. You can find some on Wiki. I found the ISO standards for peppermint on Wiki. I suppose if you do some Googling, you may be able to find ranges on other places, but as far as in print form, not that I'm aware of. If anybody's aware of any, that's great. Does the book have recipes? It does not have recipes. It does not really tell you how to use them. It does not give, I was going to say it doesn't give any therapeutic properties, but that's not quite true. There are a couple of places. Yeah, that's a confusing thing though. Does it explain the constituents and essential oils? There is a section on constituents, yes. The best recipe book. There are a few. If you go to usingeossafely.com, on my menu bar you can see books, and there are a few there that I recommend. I always get confused on this title, so hang on, because it is a long one and I often use the wrong word, and I want to make sure that I get it exactly right. But it's from Laura Cantel, and it is The Complete Aromatherapy and Essential Oils Handbook for Everyday Wellness. And I have a link to that. It's usingeossafely.com/Laura book, L-O-R-A. Do I recommend a particular book with a ton of recipes? That book I said has a lot of recipes. There's also a few other books, until mine comes out, of course. There is an Essential Living Aromatherapy Recipes for Health and Home ebook from Andrea from Aromahead. Yes. And she has some recipes there. There's also a link to DIY non-toxic cleaning recipes, and that's really super, super great for cleaning in your home. I love Heather. She has a really great book. It has over 50 recipes, beautiful photos. And then there's other ones as well that do have recipes. There's a little essential oils handbook that is like literally this small, and it can fit in your purse. Valerie Warwood's book is amazing too. Yes, she has a lot of recipes as well. The safety information isn't quite updated, but the recipes are pretty good, and if you have any questions, the name of the book one more time, yes. It is The Complete Aromatherapy and Essential Oils Handbook for Everyday Wellness. And you can find it using eossafely.com/Laura, L-O-R-A, book. And that will bring you straight to Amazon. Let's see, there's a few other ones. Yes, so the Warwood book, The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy, is very popular. It has over 600 recipes. Some of them are not quite up to date as far as safety, and that can go actually for all of these except for Laura's book. Hers was written after. Yes, Aromahead is an excellent source. Does it explain why some constituents are better for pain, etc.? It really does not go into that, no. This is more on the safety and the scientific approach. It does not have those therapeutic properties and stuff. But there is a lot of other information in here, but it does not have recipes or usage. But there are other books for that, and there are other sources for that. Aromahead is a good one to follow on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook. She has a lot of great recipes. I do have some recipes on my website as well. If you go to my menu bar on usingeossafely.com, thank you for the hearts. You can click on recipes, and I have some there. I also have some on learningaboutEOS.com. On my bar there, I also have recipes, a few. And you can find some in our group too. Thank you for the hearts. You can find some in our group as well. And you can post there. Thank you. So does anybody have any more questions? I wanted to kind of wrap this up and keep this rather short to a half an hour or so if possible. Thank you for the hearts. So does anybody have any more questions on the book? Okay. No, thank you. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to end it here then. If you do have any questions, please go to the new Using Essential Oils Safely group on Facebook, and you can ask your questions there, okay? Thanks. Bye. Thank you.